Hello YouTube denizens, David Storm here with Picklocks.com, and today we have an American Series 700, and we're going to give this a shot with the ALS Kelly Allwood tension tool, and of course my favorite, a standard DeForest pick. So one of the things with this lock is I'm going to be picking it backwards. So put my tension wrench in. It takes a very light touch. And there are spool pins, or not spool pins, but serrated pins inside the lock. So by applying a very light pressure, what that allows for is those pins to float to the shear line and not catch in those serrations. So you don't have any counter rotation on the lock from spring pressure, so I can take advantage of that and apply lighter pressure. And I don't have a key for this because this was in a bucket of locks that I got from a flea market a few years ago. And just never got around to picking this particular one, so I thought I'd do it on camera here for you. And I do not know what's inside this, but feels like maybe a high back pin there. We'll know when we take it apart. We'll look at the pins and see if it was a well-pinned lock. Most Americans are, I've found. Most of them have that high back pin. It's one of the reasons they're a little more difficult to pick. They're pinned well. So there it's picked in the wrong direction. And now I'm going to use my handy-dandy plug spinner here. And I'm going to cock it once, twice, 3 times in the direction that I picked it, which in this case is counterclockwise, which is not the unlock position. Now I'm going to reach around and I'm going to push in on the shackle just so that nothing gets in the way of it when I hit this, and hopefully we'll spin this around. I can do it with holding my mouth just right. Get my hands out of the camera there. There we go. As you can see, that flipped that plug around. Pull that out without letting it go. There it is, and it is picked. So I'll take this out of the vise here and show you. As you can see there, definitely picked. Now we'll take it over here and gut this and see what's inside. One moment. Don't mind the camera shake. And maybe we can back out. Nope, that's as far as it goes. Alright, so let's bring it down here and see what we have inside here. This is a standard Phillips head, I believe. So, yes it is. See that down in there? So we're going to unscrew that. Dump out the screw. Maybe. There it is. Drop out the retaining plate, and there's our plug. So, looks like a possible 6 pins. Right there, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure there's 6 pins inside here, but I didn't count them. So let's something to take this plug out with. So here's something I'm going to do. I need this to be on the top because I don't have a plug follower for this. So I'm going to bring this around. Now you got to be careful not to drop your pins out of here. And then I'm going to take the flat back end of a pick. I'm going to push these springs back up and bring them around like so. Push those bottom pins up. And it's a good thing there weren't any wafer discs in there. Or those would have gone everywhere. But there weren't. So now we're going to remove this spring. And I, again, don't want to lose my position on this, so I'm going to be kind of careful. If I bring the plug back around, it'll reset. And since I don't have a key, that'd be a problem. So there's the retainer pin. So see if this will fit. Yes, it will. Excellent. So my pins are on the side there. So I'm very carefully going to run my plug follower through. And look at that. We're missing one of the 6 pins. So this was essentially a 5-pin lock. A lot of guys do this because they repin them themselves in a corporation or so forth, and a lot of them don't have a 6-pin key on hand. They only have a 5-pin key, so they drop out the one of the driver pins and pull out a key pin, drop out the spring, and you've got a 5-pin lock. So let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at number 1 here. So there is number 1. Find my tweezers in this mess. So I incorrectly stated in one of the other videos that this was the bottom of the serrations, and of course I know better than that. I just wasn't paying attention. So those, and let's see if we can get a good close-up of this. You can see the serrated edges on that pin, and that of course will be the top of the pin. The contour is on the bottom to make contact with the key, and if those serrations were on the bottom and not on the top, then it would kind of defeat the purpose. So we'll drop each one of these out. Here comes number 2. There's 2. There's 3. 4. And 5. So let's see if that was pinned in a high back pin fashion. Not really, no. You've got some pretty much standard length pins, mid-range. Got a real small one there, but that's not a bad. That's not good for security, but it's not bad for picking. So yeah, about the same size there, and a small one, and a mid-range there. All right, let's take a look at the top of the lock here. So I'm just going to pull out the first one. Always make sure and cover that hole as well, because they can come right through that hole. And so there's the first one peeking out. So let's grab that, and that's number 1. And let's see what we have here. Oh, well, that is a spool pin. It's actually a, if I can get it in the light. Yeah, that is a spool pin with serrations on the top and bottom. Very nice. I guess there was a false set that I was feeling. So there's that. If my camera will focus. There we go. If you can see that or not. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we have. It's number 2. Just a standard serrated pin. It's just a standard serration. I'm going to move my light a little bit so that I'm tired of that shadow. There we are. That should help. Next one here. Next one is also just a standard serrated pin. Go ahead and get those springs out. Oh, that's right, there's only 2 left. I just went ahead and let both of those out at the same time, but that's all right. So that one is a standard serrated pin. We'll call that number 4. And number 5 is a serrated top and bottom spool pin. See that? So those little suckers get caught up. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, the American Series 700 picked and gutted. Make sure and like our videos if you would, please, and share them, and of course subscribe if you want to see more content. From Picklocks.com, I'm David Storm. Thanks for watching.